I never imagined I'd find the courage to do what I did that afternoon. For years, I lived in silence. A silence that gnawed at me slowly, devouring parts of myself I never showed anyone. I was trapped, torn between what I felt and what the world expected of me as Mark's best friend. I tried to move on. I even convinced myself I had. But when Mark and Aaron divorced, it shattered whatever fragile wall I'd built to contain everything I'd buried. I couldn't pretend anymore. That afternoon, I stood outside Erin's door, heart pounding, palms damp. When she opened it, I saw the flicker in her eyes. She thought I was there with some update about Mark. That made sense. I had entered her life through him. I was always his friend. But not today. Today, I was just me. And for once, I wasn't hiding. "I need to tell you something," I said, the words tumbling out before I could filter them. She didn't speak. She only stepped aside and let me in. I felt like an intruder, the ex's friend, crossing a line that might turn me into someone she'd end up resenting. The silence inside her house was heavy, but not unfamiliar. I'd spent so many hours here, birthday dinners, game nights, quiet afternoons where I watched her laugh and love and live a life that didn't include me. And then I said it. I didn't plan it. I couldn't have rehearsed it if I tried. "Erin, this might sound insane, but I can't keep pretending. I've been in love with you. For years." She blinked. Her body tensed. Her face was unreadable, a frozen mask of confusion and disbelief. I didn't wait for her to speak. I kept going. I tried to push it away. I told myself I was being ridiculous, that what I felt wasn't real. But maybe I only ever got close to Mark because it was the only way I could be near you. And then I stopped, because there was nothing else to say that wouldn't make it worse. I stood there, stripped bare, exposed in the most terrifying way possible. She said nothing. I left shortly after. The days that followed were brutal. I vacillated between relief and dread. Relief because I had finally stopped lying to her, to myself. But dread because her silence echoed louder than any rejection. I sent a few messages, short, careful, respectful. I didn't want to pressure her, but I also couldn't pretend that nothing had changed. In that silence, the memories came flooding back. The way her eyes lit up when she talked about her favorite books. The nights she'd doze off on the couch, and I'd stay behind under the guise of tidying up, brushing stray strands of hair from her face when no one was watching. The almost confessions, those moments on the edge that I never allowed to tip over. And then one evening, the doorbell rang. I opened the door and found her standing there. Erin. She looked different. Not angry. Not sad. Just serious. Her eyes searched mine like she was still trying to figure out what she was feeling. She didn't waste time. "I never knew what I was feeling," she said quietly. "Not until you told me." I opened my mouth, ready to apologize, to backpedal, to tell her I never meant to confuse her, to make anything harder. But I didn't get the chance. She stepped forward. And then she kissed me. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't like the movies, with soft music and slow fades. It was raw, messy, a little desperate, but it was real. And in that moment, it was everything we had both hidden away. Everything that had built up in silence, now finally spilling over. When we pulled away, I looked at her, uncertain. "I'm sorry," I whispered. "I never wanted to complicate things." She smiled. A smile that didn't carry the weight of the past. A smile that looked like freedom. "You didn't," she said. "You just made things finally make sense." And